What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Ash the Man. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be covering Black Clover chapter 122 and 123. Now, I wasn't planning on covering both of them all together, but since I kind of like skipped out on the week, I want to go ahead and get caught up and do both of them all in one video instead of just like skipping over one and doing all that craziness. So you might get a little lengthy. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be like that. But hey, let's definitely jump into this. Now, 122. I pretty much picks up for 121. Well, pretty much winning his battle. I guess one of the captains that was in his guild pretty much just wiped the floor with him. I mean, guy thought he was better than him, being that, his ranking of everything he had to do, but proving it to, pretty much just kind of just wipe the floor with dude. They didn't really take much effort. Of course, with him getting praise, the Black Bull, guild that Aster with, one of his members actually has a crush on pretty much gave him like a little cake and said, here you go. And he kind of like, hey, need to keep my stamina up. And she just lost it. But overall, Aster and Neuro and the other dude, which his name is Nura, they pretty much going to be taking on another team. Now, telling a little bit about Nura is that he's kind of like, he has a weird personality. Like, he's very sarcastic. He kind of like thinks outside the box, so he's pretty much intelligent. So we can actually say that. Now his magic is pretty much like a dust magic, but he evolves in having magic being set up in traps. He's not really like a head-on kind of, fighter compared to how Aster is with his magic, which he nullifies pretty much anything that comes into contact with his blade, and he kind of like just whoops their ass at that point. I know his other blade kind of like, absorbs, magic and being able to kind of like, dish out, damage, heavily, on that standpoint, which is actually pretty damn good. Now, you got to know who's pretty much adding to the team that she's, based on water magic. Now, she actually improved a lot because when the series first started off, reading the manga chapter, she was kind of like, what the fuck ever. But after the little like adventures they went on, the journeys they went through, her proving herself reliable to the team at very crucial moments really made her into, this person. That's what made them kind of like triumph in the last, little trial they had when she was going against her brother, in which her water dragon compared to hers was just, way better, way more destructive, way more powerful, and just overwhelmed him. I mean, with ease. That's one thing that you can really say. So now jumping into this, they pretty much changed the whole formality, the whole stage of it. It's pretty much just going to be like, pretty much like a decisive battle going into 303. So they have to work as a team, being together on the same level, working all throughout. Now, pretty much on the other team that's facing Aster, the Blossom guy pretty much is taking off. He's supposed to be a high-ranking, guild. I forgot which guild he's a part of, but, excuse me, because, definitely is not going to really worry about it. But however, he charged at Aster and, coming full force. His move that he's doing, he's supposed to be this kind of guy that deals with petals and everything like that. So when that happens, he is actually he's coming towards him, really crucial, trying to take him out. Now, Aster, pretty much he goes into that form. Now, that's one thing that does tonight, that he goes into that form, not fully, but like halfway, kind of like tapping into the energy a bit. Almost similar to Naruto Now Fox. I'm not going to try to compare it to Naruto too much because of the fact that it's the same writers. But however, he has another form that's pretty beastly. Everybody is sitting there out of their seats like, damn, Aster, he got another new ability. Especially the Mage Emperor. It's like, oh my god, because he's sort of like what you call a fan of magic, even though he's a beast. If you read previous manga chapters, you will see why the Mage Emperor is that guy. But again, with that being said, Aster pretty much do this like black voided whirlwind that just pretty much neutralizes the attack and just pretty much destroy his own teammates' traps so they could be on the same playing field. And I mean, same playing field means that he wants them to be a wavelength because Neuro, he took the time to kind of like gather information, knew what the next stage was going to be, and he was actually able to set up traps that probably would have decided the battle. Not even going to lie, they pretty much had everything won. But Aster, being the main protagonist, was everything done fair and square, has that cockiness, he did not want them to win without demonstrating a more team work ability. Now, that's pretty much covering the standpoint up until chapter 122. Now, 123 kind of like emphasizes on that when it first starts off. Aster and Nora is going kind of like back and forth, about, like setting up the traps. We pretty much would have had it won. Now, Nero has like a little bit of flashback to him, like, hey, look, Royal Knights is pretty much have worked together, not just being alone, because alone doesn't really work out. Now, Leoka's had a flashback, so he kind of like gets on, the page that Aster's on. Don't 100% agree with him, but it's like, hey, look, this is what we facing with now, so I would definitely do it. Now, Aster pretty much jumps into there, kind of giving, that, frontal, kind of way thing. Now, he tells him to come up with another plan while he's doing that, and pretty much knows like, well, it's not pretty much to work on, but I'll make something happen. Now, what he made happen, of course, he jumping into there. Aster gets cornered, but what really happens is that, the Royal Knight pretty much falls into this hole, because of the dust. I guess it could camouflage. It kind of like decepts the enemy's, provision of what's actually there, and he fell into a hole. Now, Aster came down with his blade, fronted down, and gave him some type of like smash with the blade, landed on him, so he can't repel in his attack. Now, that seems kind of interesting and silly at the same time. But overall, you get to see that chemistry. That's what's going on. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure if they will actually be actual teammates when it comes to these Royal Knight mages. But one thing I can say for sure is that whoever is with Aster is definitely going to be overwhelming force, because again, Aster is already OP. Because he can neutralize magic. Now, you have seen people get around that. You have seen people that pretty much stop him for his blades and everything. But once he learns how to master that next form too, he will be pretty much that guy. And it comes into like the way, what kind of grimoire he got. He got a 5-star cursed grimoire that deals with voiding out magic, and then he got another sword that pretty much absorbs it. So it's really interesting, because when the Emperor actually looked at the blade and everything, he could feel that the second blade was trying to drain his energy. The first blade, voids it out, which is already OP, and the second one absorbing it. Aster pretty much got some great arsenal under his belt that pretty much makes up this particular kind of thing. Now, this is where the question of the day leaves me at. Now, with the teamwork and the Royal Knights going, would you want to see the same team being there for Aster? Noelle, Aster, and Nora seems like they will be a pretty good, interesting team, like setting up traps. Noelle fighting from the distance, Aster being up close and being able to void magic out, or having a pretty smart dude right there with them. That actually seems like Aster will have like the perfect team under the Royal Knights representing the Black Bull Guild. Now, I will very much be interested in seeing this. Aster is already OP. We're going to see him face some higher mages. That's pretty much is going to take it to the next level for him, and I can't wait to see that. The anime again, I say anime, but actually the manga is actually going in the right direction. It's not presenting us with any type of like false sense. Only thing is, I just wish it didn't give me this kind of like same feels how Naruto is starting to go. But I hate referencing like material to another set of material, but you just have to, consider what they trying to present to the fans and making sure to still cater to the same fan base. So, again, thank you for tuning in. My name is Ashton Man. It's been a pleasure. I hope everybody have a wonderful day. Ashton Man out.